All right, hey guys, welcome. We're going to give everybody, as usual, just a few more minutes to sign in, but good afternoon, evening, morning, whatever you got going. Hope you're having a good one of those. Christopher Morin was the first one to log in, so way to go. Blue ribbon. Then we got Puerto Rico, Germany, Pakistan. Jose said hola, so I'm assuming that's, maybe that's New York. I don't know what they say there. LA, bonjour. Oh my, was that the most American pronunciation of that term ever? My apologies, Raphael, on Facebook. Paul can't make it work. Sorry, Paul. Can't see the feed on YouTube. I'm hearing. That's what I'm hearing. I got a good feed on YouTube and Facebook. Maybe just try refreshing if you're still having a problem. Hello, Richard, New Jersey. Bonjour. Yeah, I know I said jor, bonjour. But it's because not only am I very white, I'm also very American, so I apologize. Dominican Republic, nice. Paul's saying he has no sound. Yeah, just try. Here, this is the refresh action. Hit, refresh, Paul. I don't know if that works or not, but that's the best I got. Sebastian, welcome back. All right, just one more minute, guys, and we will get this thing rolling. Hope everybody's having a good week so far. And now Barry's, oh, Dave Richards is watching on two different platforms. He's bumping my numbers for me. Yes, thanks, Dave. Yeah, for everything I'm seeing says my volume's about the same as normal. I can bump it just a touch, but we're in danger of getting into the dreaded yellow, so I don't want to do that. You know, that's crazy. If I get all excited, then we'll be in the red. That's too much. All right. Hey guys, welcome back. Welcome to Friday Afternoons with SketchUp. Actually, we don't really have a name for this thing. We just kind of call it our live stream. Maybe we need to spend some time in the next few weeks coming up with a proper name for this, because it's a thing now. It just keeps happening. So like it or not, we're going to keep going with it. I'm Aaron. If we haven't met before, it's good to meet you. If we haven't met before, welcome back. So with me today, we're changing it up a little bit. On the other side of the monitor, you can't see him, I can't see him. I can actually see this much of his head, but we got Jody Gates back here. He's going to help monitor comments and answer questions. How's it going, Jody?
Pretty good.
This is going to be fun. Yeah? No, it's a promise. It's going to be fun. It's actually a job requirement. Christopher Morin says we should call this thing Live Sketch. I'm not opposed to that. It's on the top of the list of all the recommendations we've had so far. Hungary. Nice. Sakib is saying that Curveloft's not working. I'm sorry to hear that. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. As usual, I have our target for today is Tower Bridge. I've been told that it's not the Tower Bridge, and I know it's not the London Bridge. So those are the things that I know about Tower Bridge. I just learned that you don't say the this morning, actually, in the forum. I was told that. It was like an hour ago. And I know it's not the London Bridge because the London Bridge is a different bridge. So
I heard it was falling down too, so.
Yeah, well, that's no good. We're gonna bridge it standing up. So just throw this out there. I did, as usual, I made a topic on our forum, so you can, if you guys come up with some good images, plans, whatever, we can share them through there, and I can pull them up directly from there. I did as requested. I had this request a couple weeks ago. Somebody said, can you share the files you're working off of? So I did post all the images that I have to start. So you can see I have this, this nice image. It's nice. It's a dusk image, which is something I'm partial to. But it does kind of show how everything's laid out, how it all works. And then I got some drawings here of the profile of the entire bridge. And then some elevation and section views of the main towers, the big towers in the middle, and then the smaller towers outside at the ends. So this is going to be fun, I think. I do see, as I look at this too, this is kind of cool. I see some great opportunities for using components. So we're going to use the heck out of some components this time. Breaking this thing up into a bunch of small pieces so we don't have to model quite as much. It's going to be neat. Nope, cannot model President Trump's hair because we're not doing organic modeling today, maybe in a future episode. So if you do come in here, you'll have to excuse this. We had this big thing here, and I learned, this is something else I learned today. I learned that I suffer with the ability to tell daylight time from standard time because I typed MDT. Actually, you know what? I think this is what the problem was. I'm going to defend my actions. So originally, before I edited this said join us at noon MDT today. And I think the issue is when I typed that, it was actually last spring. So it was MDT when I typed that. And I've just been copying that block of text over and over and over again every time I create a new one of these threads. So I think the problem was not so much, I think I got it right when I originally posted it, but I've been copying it wrong ever since. So yeah, it's Mountain Standard Time right now, not Mountain Daylight Time. But the other thing is I'm only off by a week. It's going to be MDT.
Next week.
Yeah, this Saturday. So by Sunday, it'll be daylight time. I guess put telling time up there with math for me. I guess that kind of falls in the same. It's almost, I mean, time is kind of like math, right?
It's also all relative.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, so this will be how we'll pass information back and forth. If you guys have some good images, you can stick them on there. I also wanted to throw out a couple other things that, I like to talk about what's going on in the community, that kind of stuff. Generally speaking, I try to post something I saw in the forum or something that a user's doing, but sometimes I just think that we at SketchUp did something cool and I got to show it. So I do want to talk about a couple pieces of content we put out in the last few weeks. One is this video. It's a new series we're calling Built-in SketchUp, which is kind of our new take on user stories. So it kind of looks at, well, I won't tell you about it, but go to our YouTube channel, check it out. It's a pretty cool video looking at how a specific company uses SketchUp and the way they function using it. So it was pretty cool. And I thought it was a neat thing that Trimble, SketchUp, kind of a forward-looking, different way to look at something like a user story. So it wasn't a traditional sit down at a desk and let's talk about how you use SketchUp. It was actually a little bit different and kind of got into what they were working on. So cool video just came out. Check that out. The other thing is we did just start a new season of podcasts. So this season's gonna be a little different because what we're doing is kind of taking a peek behind the scenes and we're gonna interview employees every couple of weeks for our podcast. So the first one of those went up about a week or two ago, but that's worth checking out. If so, any place you get podcasts or on YouTube, the video's up there, check out SketchUp Talk because that is the best way to take in SketchUp when you don't have like SketchUp or a video in front of you. So if you want to listen to some SketchUp, we have a podcast for that. And finally, then we'll jump back in. Just wanted to call this out. We did put a preliminary list of sessions up for 3D Basecamp in 2020. So if you guys want to check out, if you're thinking about maybe you'd like to go to Basecamp but not sure and want to find out a little bit more about it, this is the place to go, 3dbasecamp.sketchup.com. And we have preliminary sessions so you can actually kind of see what's going to be taught, see if you like what's going on there. We have a bunch of our presenters are up there too, so It's going to be a good time. But we just put that initial data up there so you can go check it out and see if there's a session or 20 that you're interested in. Okay, that's enough talking. Less talky, more clicky. Let's get started on Tower Bridge. All right. Robert Coolidge on Facebook says he has a tip for anybody using Match Photo. His top tip for Match Photo is that SketchUp doesn't know about daylight savings time. So kind of integrated SketchUp into what I was just saying I struggle with. So that's cool.
You're truly dyed-in-the-wool SketchUp man.
Okay. So let's do this. Let's get some tower bridgery. I'm gonna go to so a lot of times I end up using images just as watermarks to have on the screen and then model from it. This one, I think we have some decent scaled images, so I'm gonna actually import as images, scale them properly, and start modeling off of that. So I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna import. And from my desktop, I'm going to grab, I think this one is just, no, I called it whole bridge. Go ahead and import that, and I'm gonna throw it on the ground. And in the very near future, I'm gonna get a question from Dave Richards asking if I use large image splitter yet. So, cue Dave. There is an extension, and I did install it, called Large Image Splitter, which will take big images and cut it into smaller pieces so you end up with higher resolution. I actually tested it on this image just to see what happened. Unfortunately, this image is so low resolution that it didn't do anything for me. So if I zoom in here like this is basically what the image looks like if you get close to it in just an image viewing screen also. So Christopher Moore just shared a high-res photo, though, so that's going to be good. On cue, Dave. Thank you. So yeah, so I did not bother with large image because the image is so low res to begin with. But it's okay because off of this image right here, we just need shapes and dimensions. So I just need to figure about where the tower is relative to the size of the whole span. So I'm not really very worried at this point right now about having more detail than, this little bit. So to get this up to scale, this line, which is I'm calling these the small towers and the big towers. So from the small tower inside says it's 880 feet, which I found a little bit interesting because last I checked, in London or the UK as a whole, feet is not the preferred way to measure things. Care to explain yourself, London? Works great for me. I know exactly how big a foot is. All right, so I'm going to come in here. I just drew a line right on top there. I'm going to use this, click, click. I'm going to type 880 feet, enter. Do you want to resize the model? Yes. All right, there we go. So I'm sorry, Laura, I do not need you anymore. All right, so there, that is now to scale. So what I think I'm gonna do, here, let's get this, upright. Don't need that line anymore. So I'm kind of thinking, I want to we have some more dimensions here. So I have this 70-foot pier that the big towers sit on, and they are 220 feet apart looking from the side. So I'm going to start by just roughing in 70 foot, and I'm just going to drop those down a dimension. All right, and then I'm going to draw a line from here, 200 feet, and then I'm going to take this rectangle, move it with my modifier key to right there, take that whole mess and just slide, there we go, something like that. All right, then from there we're going to go 270 feet, 270 feet, there we go. Whew. And I'm going to come up and draw another rectangle. I don't have a dimension for how wide this is, so let's say, I'm going to say 35 feet because, oh boy, 35 feet. Oh, gonna be one of those days. All right, I'm going to grab that. Oop, I didn't put my line in over here. 270. Oh man, third try's a charm, huh? 270 feet.
Need a new keyboard, maybe.
I need to, I don't know what I need. All right, let's try again. Oh, I Bob Ross that. That was unintentional. All right, so the other thing I'm thinking about is I'm gonna just draw some kind of draw a line here representing half the tower. I don't know exactly the dimensions, but right now I don't actually need that. I just need to get something there. I'm gonna do the same thing over here. And then over here, same thing. I'm just line this up with the middle. And that's 18. I'm just gonna put that as 18 feet. This will all make sense momentarily-ish. 18 feet. Oops. Something didn't line up right. Did I say 18 feet? I did, so why 3711? But they should be the same.
So Barry McFadden commented that it was built before metric. So I just did a little search, and it says that the British imperial system was implemented in 1965.
Wow.
So that's why you're seeing feet.
That makes a lot of sense.
Thanks, Barry.
Thank you very much. Okay, 16 feet. I'll drop that down. I snapped not to the middle point. That's why I was off there. All right, try this all again. That's interesting. Actually, I apologize for being naive, but I did not know that the UK ever used, what do we call it, imperial?
Yeah.
So that was,
Yeah, but they used to have all kinds of weird measurements, like stones. Well, they still use stones.
yeah, it's a normal way to say your weight, right?
Yeah.
How many stone you weigh? And isn't stone like 15 pounds or 20 pounds or something like that?
No.
No.
Pound is a currency.
That's right.
So,
Well, I think you could probably judge your worth by something like that, right? All right. So I'm drawing in some super high level geometry right here, guys. Not to, just as kind of a placeholder. All right.
so Justin commented that you scale the entire image, not the portion of the measured image when you're doing your scaling. You want to explain yourself?
When you scale, I scaled the entire model. So I scaled absolutely everything that was in the model, which was just my image. So I only have to scale one line, and if I'm not inside of a container, the entire image scales up. So by drawing that line from here to here and telling it that is 880 feet, it took my whole model and made it big enough so that that all fit. So hopefully that makes sense. All right, that is what I need for now. So I'm going to take all of this. I'm going to grab this piece right here and move it down to 0, 0. Whoops, I didn't grab all of it. Try it again. Grab everything in the model and move this end
You grab the image.
Get out of my face. There we go. 0, 0. I'm going to take this image. I'm going to start making some tags here. I'm going to create a new tag called whole bridge ref. And I'm going to turn that off. And I'm going to assign this image to that layer. So what that means is as long as I don't move my bridge around, this reference image will always be in the right spot and I can just flip it on and off. If I deleted it or moved it over to the side or something like that, then I would be challenged when it came time to, so I need to pull a dimension off of it or see how something lined up. I wouldn't be able to do that as easily because I would no longer have that piece there. I guess that makes sense. Somebody's saying, is that's where the term imperial comes from? That's why we use imperial? I don't know. All right, let's move on. Let's grab another image. I'm going to pull in, actually I'm going to do 2 more images. One image I'm going to do is going to be my watermark. I do like putting that watermark up there, so I'm going to go to my styles, close this stuff up, edit my styles, go to my watermarks, add a watermark, and I'm going to bring in this image I have. And I'll actually just put it in as a background image. I'm going to position it in the upper left corner above my, upper left corner. So we're going to make it a little smaller so it sits up there. There we go. I'll make sure it's not, it's small enough that I don't block with my head. But that'll be a good reference. So I can actually just kind of look up there every time I need to see how something lines up. It's not a big enough image where I can zoom in and get super fine details, but hopefully the details I'll be getting off the plan and not the image anyhow. So that's good. So there's my reference.
Karsten caught you calling it a layer.
Oh, did I say the L word? Gotta put a dime in the jar. I know, I'm working on it. I'm working on that term. I called it the same thing for what, 12 years? It's going to take more than a couple weeks to get rid of that one. Thanks, Karsten. Let's get some more imagery in here. So I'm going to import my towers image. All right, so I know that this pier, I have this pier length right here, which is this pier, this measurement right here, which is 70 feet. So what I can do is I can come over here, and we're on a blurry image, so I'm not going to be absolutely perfect with these dimensions, but this will get me in the ballpark so I can model off of this dimension. So I'm going to draw a line right there. Actually showed up on the other side, but I'm going to grab both of these together because last time, somebody just asked about this. Last time I did this, I used the scale, using the tape measure to scale the entire model. I don't want to scale the entire model this time because I don't want to change the size of what I've already modeled. I only want to change the size of this right here. So what I'm going to do is grab that line and the image and make that a new group. So now that's inside of a group. So what I can do now is I can double click to enter the group, and then I will use the tape measure on just this line. Whoops, missed it. One more try. On just that line and tell it that is 70 feet. And now look what it says. First time it said, do you want to scale the entire model? This time it just says, do you want to resize the active group or component? Yes. And there we go. So now what I should be able to do is grab this, still grouped, my line and my drawing, and I can take it from here, and take it over, and I can drop it right there. And that now is what I want to model. Cool. Ish. Cool-ish. I have an issue. I have lots of issues. I have a specific issue right now. This line is in the center of the pier, which is good because this is all lining up pretty centered, but look what happens as I work my way up the building. By the time I get to the top, here's the middle, and here's where the center of my line is.
So they built it crooked.
Obviously, a mistake has been made. So what's probably happening is this image is just a teeny bit out of alignment. So I don't know where this image came from. Obviously, it's not CAD. So something's just slightly off. So what I'm going to do, if I can do this without X-ray, yeah. I'm going to come into this image right now. I'm going to select just the image, and I'm going to do this. I'm going to come up here and go in the center right like this, and pull that over to in line with that line I drew. So now it looks like, turn X-ray back on, it looks like that middle line comes pretty close to the middle of all the geometry. It's not perfect, but it's close enough to get me what I need out of this model. All right, I'm going to start, I'm just going to create some geometry. I'm going to do this too. I'm going to make a copy of this image and set it over here. I'm going to come into this image right now. I'm going to explode it. So as soon as you explode an image, it changes from being an image to a surface with an image on it. So I can do stuff like get rid of that extra profile. I don't need that right now. I'm going to take this one, rotate it 90 degrees, and let's see. Let's get rid of, come in here.
It was suggested it might be time to save.
Oh, you guys, with your good ideas. I drop a line straight down. Yeah, so that's obviously not straight either. Yeah, let's save. Why not? We'll break up what we're doing now. We'll go save. Tower without the bridge. Excellent plan, guys. All right, so to find the middle of this opening, I'm just going to draw a line right here, over to here. I'm going to grab a line from the middle here. I'm going to take that up to the middle of this cross right here, best of my ability. And now I'm going to grab all of it and rotate this line so it is on axes. All right. And then I'm going to do the same thing I did before. I don't really care about these section cuts so much. I'm not really concerned about what's going on inside. I really only want the outside portion. So I'm going to explode this image here, and then I'm just going to draw a rectangle around the piece I want, and just get rid of this extra stuff. All right, so this is what I'm looking for. So this will end up creating my profile over here. Something like that. Okay. So one of the things I was talking about before was components. We have a lot of options or opportunities to make lots of components here. So we're going to do that. I'm going to start with this piece right here. So this piece, I'm going to use push-pull to pull this over to about here. I know I'm using exact design terms like about. Sorry. I got rid of my center line, so I'm going to come here, draw a vertical line right there so I have that to reference to, and pull this through to here. All right, what I just created, that little box, is 1/4 of my big tower. It's a massing, it's not done. It's just a mass that's going to represent my big tower. So I'm going to go grab these two lines, or these two pieces. I'm going to put them on a new layer which I'm going to call tower ref. Well, let's make this clear. Big tower ref. And I know this is a Mac only thing, but on Mac I can type a new tag in, hit enter, and it will automatically create a tag down here. I know on Windows you got to go make that first before you can apply it, but I'm exploiting my shortcuts. So now I could turn that on and off as needed. I'm going to leave it off for just a second because what I want to do is get rid of that. I'm going to open up one of the sides because I don't want to get confused about that symmetric shape. These are the sides I want to keep. And I'm going to grab these pieces. Oops. All right, I'll do it again. Grab all of that, make it a component. I'm going to call a component big tower quarter. Makes sense? Go ahead and create it. Now, I'm going to take a piece of that, I'm going to take a copy of that, bring it over here, use scale. Yes, you could use flip along. Yes, you could use Curic Mirror, which I still haven't installed again since I moved to 2020. All right, and I'm going to grab both of those, slide it over here, scale that again, invert it, -1, and bring that over here. So now that is what I will sculpt that detail onto, and I'll only have to do 1/4 because they'll all update by themselves. The other thing I can do right now is I can take all 4 of these and I can make a copy, bring them over here, and actually it's all the same right now, so I can just bring that over to right here in line with the center there. Get rid of this now too. So that actually gets a good portion of my model is going to be done just with that. Just to finish, I want to do this real quick. I'm going to grab this line, copy it to right here, and then I can push-pull this through. I'm using Option push-pull to create a new surface to just get that pier in there. And then I can take this shape right here, Option copy over to here, push-pull, Option push-pull to make a new surface. Oop. All right, so that gets me my initial piers. I'm not going to mess with this right this second because there's more detail there than I want to try to put in from just right here. So I'm going to start, I'm going to do the same thing super quick I'm going to save. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to save.
Number one answer.
I may have peaked, you guys. This might be as good as it gets. All right, so from here, oh, I'm going to have some fighting with faces because I have stuff connected. Actually, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to grab all of this. I'm going to delete that because I'm going to make this a new component. Call this the big pier. And I can take that and I can slide over this way. Depending how I build this, I might want to actually invert it. I'm going to do that because as I look at it right here, this middle piece connects to this face. I just copied it over, so if I make any changes to this face to connect this portion of the bridge, they're going to be on this side. So if I take this and I scale it to -1, now this side is looking at itself on the inside. So yeah. I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to just pull this across to here, clean that up, And I'm going to make that into a new component. This will be the small pier. There we go. All right, and same thing, I'm going to grab it. I'm going to grab by this side. Option copy to bring it down here and put it over on this side so I can use scale to invert it back to here. It's very possible that I won't worry about the detail of this piece, where really it might just stay that square. I might not even get into that, but just in case I do any kind of details on that, again, I would like to save time and only have to do that once. All right, so with that.
So Frederick
Mm-hmm.
on Facebook suggested that the mid-bridge also be a component.
Oh,
you have
yes.
to do half that.
Yeah, that was great minds. I was actually just thinking that, so as I look at this, I have this piece right here, which repeats itself, and it does have trusses and stuff, so it's going to be a little work to put together. So this will break in half. Not just break in half, we can actually break this into quarters. Let's look at this real quick right now. Go to the middle right here, grab that, make it a component. Middle bridge. And I'll double click this, get rid of all that. And now I'm going to take it, I'm going to come into it, and I'm going to pull it across to the middle like that. Do the same thing. I'm going to get rid of, whoops, I'm going to get rid of this line right here so it's open. And again, I don't have to do this. I basically do this because it is a symmetrical shape to make sure I don't accidentally put it where it shouldn't be. Because then what I'll do is I'll option copy it over to here. I'll scale and pull it back like this. And then I can do the same thing. I can grab both of these, option copy over to here. Use scale from here to pull this back like that. So now, as I come in here to put details in, I can just put the detail on one piece, and it should show up on all four edges. I don't need that circle there. That was just for illustrative precipitation.
Reasons.
That's why you're here, Jody. when my words stop functioning.
Carson pointed out that you wouldn't have to move if you used the scale to -1 with a modifier key for scale to center.
That is true. I could have scaled. Okay, yes. We're coming back to that.
Okay, next time.
I have the same thing will happen here, but I want to get this tower in first real quick before I get to this piece, because what will happen is, you see the reinforcement here, the cable portion of the bridge. It comes down to, I don't know if it's 1/3 and 2/3, but it comes down here and then goes up higher like this. So what will happen here is I'll have two components, the short side and the long side, which I'll be able to do side to side, but then all four of those, so two short sides, two long sides, will get mirrored back over onto this side. I'm going to get my short towers in there first though, after I save. All right. Import, and I have smalltowers.jpg. I'm going to go ahead and import that. And I can just click anywhere to place it. I'm going to scale it immediately so I'm not too stressed about. All right, so this, make that into a group. All right, and now if I come into the group, what did I make this? 37'11". Okay, that seems like a stupid number that I used. I think I tried to put 35 and I ended up clicking rather than, well. I'm gonna call it 35 because I can. All right, so now that I'm in the group, when I use scale, just like last time, click here, I'm gonna call it 35 foot. It's gonna scale just the component. So now I can exit, grab it by this point right here and put it right there. All right. And this will then come back to that point. All right. Now, one of the things that I am seeing right now is that this is not so symmetrical, which is not a big deal. We can work with that, but I don't know which way faces which. So I'm not sure exactly. Oh, it looks like, so this is, so you got these two pieces coming out here. I think that's this cable truss thing coming off. So I'm going to assume that I have it facing the right way right now. Let's check alignment real quick. Ooh, look at that. That's pretty straight. All right, so I'm going to come out like that, and it actually looks like most of it is symmetrical, except they have this extra tower right here, which is this piece right here. The rest of it looks like symmetrical. So what I am inclined to model is model the whole thing once and then come in and make a modification where this corner tower is afterwards.
Seems like a spiral staircase in there.
It does. It looks very much like that. Christopher Morin's got to run. Thanks for coming by. And yeah, it's good. Go help your mom. That's more important. We'll be here. It won't be live, but it'll still be here. All right, so I'm going to make a component here. Small tower. I think I called the other one quarter, so we'll try to stick with that naming convention. All right, I'm going to do the same thing I did before. I'm going to take this whole thing, Option copy to make a copy. Come in here, explode, get rid of that extra or extraneous. Smart guy way of saying extra. I don't know. That's there, and then we can take this one, rotate it 90 degrees. And I'll do the same thing I did. I'm gonna oh, whoops, wrong one.
I didn't see what you
Breaks.
did, but Jason's wondering what control that was with the scroll wheel. Did you just do something with your scroll wheel?
I don't think so.
Orbit and pan.
Oh, I rotated it. That was just rotate, Q, shortcut key. Break this. Oops. All right.
Found a great website that I'll put on the forum, but it's got over 70 images of different construction and completed images of this.
Ooh.
Those aren't cables on the ends. Those are beams, curved beams.
Ooh. 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 I like it. Oops. All right, so I'm just getting these pieces lined up. Not sure how that came out so far, but I'm going to want to go to there. All right, there we go. There's my quarter properly placed. So the same thing, I'm just going to get rid of that inside just so I can see it a little easier. I'm going to take both of these pieces, put them on a new layer called Small Tower Ref. Turn that off right now. Get rid of all these extra lines I put in here. And then take this one, go to here. This is what Carson was pointing out. I can copy it straight over like that, and then when I go to scale, if I hold down the modifier key, Option or Control, depending on your operating system, I can scale to negative like that. And then I'll do the same thing, grab here, slide over to here, scale again, modifier key, flip it along the middle. All right, there we go. So that looks good. I'm going to take all of that then. So my piers aren't quite the same. Let me turn my small tower reference on. It's not quite centered. Actually, it's not quite right is really the issue I'm having. So if I'm going to draw another reference line. So right down the middle. Well, here, where's my middle? Okay, that's like that. So if I grab all of those pieces and turn my X-ray so I can see through that image, I slide that this way so it comes to here. That's better. All right, I'm good again. Again, these are just rough outlines of where geometry is going to go. The big thing here is that there's not really good envelope because it does have so many pieces that stick out and come back in, that kind of thing. So they're just placeholders. All right, so with that, I'm going to put a line here, grab that along with this piece, bring it over like this. I'm going to invert it just like I did the others, and then I can use that line I created to make sure I line up, boom, with the pier. All right. Whew. So there's more component work to be done, but I'm itchy to model something. So we may have to come back in a bit and work on these bridge pieces, that sort of thing. What the heck? We'll put some placeholders in real quick. So I'm going to turn on my whole bridge real quick. I'm going to say right here is where it splits. Man. Try that again. Right here. Draw an arc from here to, I'm out of plane of the model, so I'll just keep it on. This will work for right now. This is not our final geometry, so we can make it work.
So Kai wanted to make sure you knew the roadway at the lever parts are a little bit lower, just enough to make Transvan go da-dum as you drive by it.
This part?
I think so.
Maybe. All right. So then this and this will become a component. That component will be called outer bridge small. All right, and over here, draw another arc, go from here up to here. Did he actually type to tonk?
He typed dum-dum.
Oh, that works. Oops, I think that last one's out of plane.
I made some assumptions there.
Okay, that works. I'm okay with assumptions. Put that in again. I came out of plane and was drawing some 3D arcs there.
Kai did confirm that, yeah, he pointed at the right da-dum spot.
Okay.
Ben suggested you just model half and then copy and flip the whole thing.
That could work too. But components are so much fun when you make a change one place and it magically happens somewhere else. Outer bridge big. Okay. Whew. All right. Let's get rid of this. All right, I'm gonna come in here. I'm gonna pull this across to the middle. Again, get rid of that. This is actually a little easier to, I don't necessarily have to erase this middle piece because you'll be able to tell pretty easy because of this geometry right here. I'll take both of these. Same thing I did before. Option or control copy, scale. Modifier key is scale about the middle. There we go. And I can take both of those. And since it is symmetrical, I can actually rotate it rather than copying it and scaling it. If there was a left side and right side that were different right there, then I'd want to bring it over and use the push-pull thing to do that again. All right, so that was a lot more setup than I usually, or I often do, but it's going to pay us back as we start to model because, like I said, we'll have to do 1/4 of the modeling. But I mean, but this is kind of neat. I mean, this is, you know, half an hour in, and we got a thing that, with proper photo textures, could go pretty far as you know, a model. Ugh. I just splashed water on my own face. It was refreshing. Only my right eye is awake now. All right, let's keep roll. Let's roll on. Like let's make like deodorant and roll on. So that's probably not even a thing anymore. Does anybody even know what roll-on deodorant is? I don't know. That's not even. Stop talking, Aaron.
It's nice that you use deodorant, so that's good.
Got that going for me. Okay, so now what we got to do is we got to do some isolating because we got to get these details onto these blocks. So if I double click right here, a couple things happen. So the biggest thing, of course, is that I can't see it through my reference images. Also, everything disappeared except for the block I'm working on. So I have to change some settings here. I'm going to go to View, Component, Edit. I'm going to say hide similar components when I edit one. So if I edit just this one, everything else goes away. The other thing, I'm trying to think of how to best, it probably makes the most sense to grab these, cut them, come in context here, and paste in place. I think that's going to be the best way to do this. I'm going to take this image right here. Nope, just the one. Oh boy. Actually, I'm going to hide the whole rest of the model. And get rid of.
Everybody knows what roll-on is.
Okay. Whew. Felt old for a second there. Thanks, guys. Thanks again. I'm going to bring that this way. Put it on the face. That'll work, because then I can model like this. That's going to work all right. Now I'll do the same thing here. I'm going to grab this one, bring that back here like this. Cool. So
Kyle on YouTube is suggesting you project photo to face.
that is totally an option. I don't tend to use it very often, which doesn't mean it's bad. It's just not a normal workflow that I use, because I like maintaining this image as long as possible. As soon as I project on here, I'm going to immediately start going in and cutting stuff off and that kind of thing, so I'm going to lose some detail that I want to hold on to. But that's not a bad idea. All right, so what we have here, one could actually make the argument that maybe these two are close enough they could be components again, but we got enough components going on right now. I'm not going to do something silly like that. I'm going to come in here and draw some edges. This piece right here, all the way up, actually sticks out a little bit further than this piece right here. That piece pushes in, and see it right here. And actually, I believe these towers, I looked at it yesterday. You can look at the images of on the forum too. These towers are actually round, and they go up right here. These from here up are octagons that sit on top of the tower. So this is actually going to be a super cool section. This is going to be fun to go in, and we'll get the circles on the outside there, and then we'll also have a octagon that intersects with it. That's what these cuts right here are, that octagon scaling back and dying into the circle, which is really cool. The question is, so I know this piece is further inset than the round piece on the outside, but I don't know how much it is. So I'm going to have to do what looks good, because that's really the only thing I see to do. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to push it back in, we'll say 2 feet. And I'll take that whole line back 2 foot. Okay, so that's set in right now. I'm going to take this face right here, flip it out here so I have it on this other side, because then I'll do the same thing here. Take this up to this same height, and then I will push that in 2 foot as well. Something like that. All right, now what I'm going to have to do, so even though I cut those reference images and put them inside the component, they're still on my reference layer, so I can still pretty easily toggle them off. What I need to...
I'm sorry, you reference what?
Images?
No, you said it's on your reference layer?
Ah, dang it. Another dime in the jar. I got to charge myself more. A dime in the jar is obviously not enough to stop me from doing it. All right, $5 in the layer jar, or tag jar.
Tag jar.
Tag jar. All right, so this is kind of what we got so far, and this is just that. This is the line that trim is going around. I'll carry that around because it should be. All right, and down here, this is where that circle is going to go. So right now I have this in here as a square. What I'm going to do is just draw a line across like this, and I'm going to draw a circle, and I'm going to bring that out to somewhere. If I bring it out to here, that will show right from the sides, but that's not where this dies into it, right? So it's actually bigger than that. Let me get rid of these pieces. I'm going to grab this, I'm going to scale it, because it should come out to there, because this is where the lines meet up with it. So meets up with it. How close am I? I was just ballparking there. How close did I get? Ooh, I got really close. All right. But this lets me get rid of this. Get rid of this. Get rid of this. Take that. All the way up to here. And this is where we're going to start to see, in just a minute, we're going to see where these components come into their own with awesomeness, because as soon as I exit out of here, it should look pretty cool. All right, so this line I made, I'm going to have to get rid of these. I'm going to put those back in a second because it's multiplying my work, and I don't need more work right now. I grab this, and that can be slid back and forth. So I'm going to pull it. I'm going to just have it run into the face. Same thing over here. There we go. and then I can just grab all that, say intersect face with selection. That should give me a cut line. I should be able to come in here now. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Get rid of that extra geometry. Awesome. All right, so if I exit out of here now, I have that look on all 4 pieces. So that's cool. I like that. That was simple. Simple is good. I want to tackle these octagons right now before I have any more geometry in here. I'm going to go ahead and pull this down and just basically chop it off like that. I'm gonna leave this geometry for the roof in just a moment. But that's the center point of my circle.
Dave pointed out keeping a colored background is good for helping spot those holes.
Yeah, as opposed to this light gray.
Yeah.
Absolutely, totally agree. I don't know how much you guys would enjoy it. Would that be too bright if I had some ridiculous neon, painful looking stuff? All right, so I'm going to come over here and pull this out to here. Get that line right there. And what that line's going to do is allow me to come in here right now, polygon, 8 sides, start right here, flat. And right now I'm pulling out a corner, but I want to actually pull the edge out to perpendicular to this point. So I'm going to hit the modifier key, which is let me pull the edge out rather than a corner, like that. And now, turn my reference image back on, and I can pull that up to here, and down to here. And this is where I'm going to have to do a little bit of, we call it guessing or pretending or lying. But this dies back into the main portion of the building. So what I have to do here, I'm going to go like this. I'm going to hit Option Push Pull to pull this down like that. And I'm going to grab that face. Actually, to do this right, I have to get this face down here too. There we go. So if I grab these 2 faces right now, I should be able to, I don't know if this is going to work. We'll see what happens. If I scale these about the middle, oh, everything's terrible. That's what happens. Okay, undo. Just get out of there and pretend it never happened. I'm going to grab all of this. Pull this down to here. All right, so I'm going to grab that chunk right there. Should probably just work this whole time in X-ray so you can see it. So I'm going to grab all that chunk, and I'm going to make it a new group. I'm not worried about component because I'm only going to do this once. I'm going to explode it in just a few minutes. So if I go into that group right now, I'll do a quick cleanup. We don't need these extra edges. They're not helping anything. They're actually just going to mess with our geometry distortion we're about to do. All right, cool. And I know somebody's going to point out, I could just use cleanup to get rid of those extra edges. I could, but I'm already done. Oh, I'm sorry, did I sound defensive? All right, I'm gonna take that. I don't need to do that, but there we go. Nice and clean. I don't like extra geometry if I can help it. And now if I take that and turn on the rest of the model, get rid of this. And I can just on the bottom scale in the middle, see if it gives me the, oh, I stopped my round part stopped there rather than lapping through. All right, let's go like this. And I can pull that up into it. All right, that's not too far off of what I had going on before. My reference image looks like they're like way more stretched out than that though. See how long they go up like that? I wonder if they're actually like arched or something. Let's slide this over so we can look at them side by side. Here, let me intersect that too. This is what I got on the image, and you can actually see it in the other image. You see, looks okay, but not perfect. Yeah, it does look kind of like they actually went in here, intentionally vaulted this up, and then pushed it back in. All right, I'm gonna. Oh, I got a reference image floating above. Oh, they are. They're like this. You guys get that? All right, so we can do this super fast. We don't have to do it fast. We'll do it regular speed. I'm going to go in here. I'm going to turn off my reference images. So what happens is this point where it makes contact, there's kind of goes like this. And then that face is pushed back to the cylinder. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to come into this piece right here. I'm going to create exactly that geometry. I'm going to come here to my intersection. Actually, here's what I'll do first. I'll triple click, intersect this with geometry. So I have those even breaks. And then I'm going to need that midpoint. And I'm going to come up like that. And then I'm going to do something else. I don't know what the next step is. All right, since this is such a simple shape, this triangle shape, what I'll probably do is turn on X-ray, run a line straight back, and then run lines back down to the ends like that. So I'm making basically that little shed geometry. And if I delete that, oh, something did not close up on the inside.
You need to draw a line from each of those endpoints.
Drew a triangle, shouldn't that have? Yeah, there it is.
Oh, doing across the bottom?
So, because I should now be able to get rid of this.
Yeah, but your triangle
I just, yeah, oh, yeah, so that one I just missed.
Yeah.
There we go. That's what I want. Because when I come out here, that's going to create that vaulty look. All right. So I don't want to do that again and again and again. I've already been talking up how wonderful and how attractive using components makes everybody look. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace each of these sides, oops, with that geometry. So I'm going to come in, Grab this, delete this, delete this, delete this, delete. And then I can grab these 3 pieces of geometry, rotate. Oh, I lost my middle point. I just need a middle point, so I can just go corner to corner real quick.
So Dave's pointing out he doesn't think those are straight lines, and then he shared this image.
Yeah, but if I go like this, they look like it. You're probably right.
So
They're probably just off of, yeah, they are a little bit, you're right.
But Dave's going to try squinting his eye like that, I bet.
Yeah. Have you squinted at it, Dave? So yeah, they are just slightly rounded, but I'm going to call this one good for now. I'm not trying to get out of anything. I just don't want to spend the next hour just modeling this piece. All right, which means I am getting out of something. I'm absolutely trying to get out of something. All right, so I'm going to explode that. Oh, can I do it now? Sorry, exploded. Grab all that, intersect face with selection. All right.
I mean, to be fair, everybody in London that sees this is seeing it from down at ground level, so they can't tell either.
That's right. Yeah, what Jody said.
Dave took off his glasses. He said, now they're right.
Oh, thanks. Thank goodness. All right, so I'm just cleaning up some, whoops, extra geometry here on the inside. Awesome. Cool, so if we look at this, yeah, how about that? Okay. All right, come in here. I'm gonna draw this arch. So I'm gonna draw it right here and just push it back. That. I don't think this is something I can get solidly with just a standard arch, so I am going to use Bezier for this. I have not installed. All right, it's time for that awesome game of can Aaron install and use an extension. I feel like I need theme music for this. Fortunately, I know where this is. Just gonna grab the Bezier. Install it. Yes, I want to install it. Yes, I really want to install it. Okay, it's installed. All right, so now I should be able to go draw Bezier curve. What? Seriously?
I was getting ready to tell you. You just had 2 people telling you to save.
What's the most remedial, simple thing you could possibly do? I don't know. Install Bezier curve. Stuff happens. It's funny because actually, yesterday, I spent some time. I had a coworker come over and ask me to help them track down an issue they were seeing, which I did save just before that happened. So all is not lost. Asked me to help them track down an issue they were seeing with a specific extension. When that extension was installed, it was bad things were happening. It was an extension it's a great extension, but it hadn't been updated for 2020, so it was causing some problems. And it occurred to me as I started modeling, I did not uninstall that extension. So I'm not blaming that on that, but it's interesting that pretty much a standard extension like Bezier just caused that issue. Ooh, no, I just want to get rid of that side and that line. All right. So let's see how our tower is looking thus far. Okay. So I'm aware my roads are bigger than they need to be. We model this to the biggest, most outsidey? Is that better? Outside-ish portion of the pillar. So this is bigger. These roads are going to be closer to this width. But yeah, that's what we got going so far. That's not bad. Okay, so I'm going to throw the roof geometry on here maybe, and then we'll come put some additional details, and then we'll start working on other pieces. Where are we at? What time is it? All right, so we're just at an hour. This is good. I know. He just doesn't listen, they're all saying right now. Okay, I want to get this octagon. I'm gonna actually draw an octagon back in. Oh, I'm drawing a six-sided.
Which extension was it you just installed? Or was it?
Bezier.
Okay. Oh,
Like
that's
just
it.
the old school, boring.
Have you used anything else yet? Or is that the only so far?
That's the only extension I've used, right? You guys, tell me if have I used something else? I think that's the
think
only
so.
one. Only one thus far. All right. Now let's get a roof up on here. Okay, I'm gonna come in here, I'm gonna turn my big tower tag back on. So I have a pretty simple octagonal tower roof here, so I'll throw that on here, and then I got kind of a, I have some like, what are these things called? You guys know this, like the
Windows.
No, not the window. These bricky defendy thingies.
I don't know,
That may be the name.
Is that a crenellation?
I totally know what that word means, but for maybe some people who don't, you could share the definition.
The battlements of a castle or other building was what Google wants to call them or use them for.
Battlement. I like battlement.
All right.
For what that's worth. All right, so I'm going to do something like this. Mouse this again. I'm going to pull it up some more. So I'm roughing in some geometry, folks. All right, something like that. And then from inside that is when the tower goes, or the roof goes up to about there. And I'm going to put a line across something like that to give a width. So basically just pulling a couple of reference geometries off there. And then what I can do with that is I can push-pull this up to this height. Grab this, modifier scale about the middle till it's about that wide. Cool. All right. Looking pretty good. Looking good getting there. It's funny because when you start to model something this size, it can be daunting to go in and go, oh, where do I even start? But the important thing, of course, is that you just start. There's not really a right place to start, I don't think. And there's so many different ways to model whatever you're going to model. There's not really a right way, I don't think, to model most things. There's lots of them. There's many ways to model most things. So the important thing is you just get in and get going, get doing it. All right, I'm gonna say, it kind of looks like, I thought this came out, but it kind of looks like the battlements are back more in line with this inside wall. So I'm gonna actually get rid, whoops, of these lines right here. And then I'm gonna draw some stuff. Just, I'm roughing in shapes right now. Okay, so that's the height I want to go to. And now I can actually temporarily turn that off, match that height there, start coming across here. Some people actually, who are bigger fans of reference images than I am, have asked for the ability to, oh, hold on, can't talk, clicking. Shortcut key a layer, tag. That only counts as half of a $5 bill because I caught it too quick. I don't, as often as I use tags, I've never really wanted a shortcut key on it. I don't know. You guys like the idea of that? Whoops, screw that up. All right, so I'm running into issues. You guys might be catching this right now. I'm working in two different planes. I have my reference image here, and the geometry I'm working off is 2 foot back. So a couple things I could do. I could grab that plane and push it in. I could also, this is kind of a fun trick, if I want to just align this one piece, I can select that, and I can say Align View. Now I'm looking straight at it. So it's easier for me now to come in here and trace that battlement cutout there, 2x. So that's an option too. I'm going to grab.
Dave and Kai confirmed it's crenellations, so I was right, and battlements is the wrong word.
All right. Hey, I'm good with either one, you guys. I mean, I'm up for a crenellation or a battlement. I don't care. All right, there we go. Now, give that a little bit of depth. I'm sure they'll get more depth than that in a moment.
Is it time to save again?
Yeah, Command S. Why not?
Thanks, Sebastian.
You the man. Man. Okay. Oops. Oh boy. All right. I'm going to. All right. I gotta look at my reference photos real quick. So these pieces right here are like dormers that are going to push back into the bigger roof. So I'm going to just grab them and I'm going to push-pull them so they come in. Like that. And now I just need to get that bigger roof, really. If I look at that big tower, that big roof, it's hard to tell exactly where it's at. It definitely looks like it takes off, you know, right about the same spot here, and then goes up. I'll draw some lines like this. draw a line like this. And see, there's that ridge. That's where this roof right here pushes back. And you should see the same thing over here where those roofs go back. So I got to get this, it's not an A-frame. It's kind of like an A-frame hip thing. I don't know. I'm making stuff up, but you know, that's, whatever. Now I'm just making sounds. Okay. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to grab all this existing geometry and make it a group right now. Because what I don't want to do is accidentally merge as I put this roof shape together. I don't want to merge in with all of this. This right here is the reference line that I put in showing where those pieces all came together. So this line right here should be lined up over here with this point. And it should come over to here. So that's actually the line I want. And this roof does have some width to it at that height. So I'm going to run this line over here. I'm going to bring it across. All right, so that, I did that wrong. I went the wrong way. Okay, that's okay. I can fix this. So this should actually be over here. Hopefully that rambling all made some kind of sense. Probably not. Probably not a thing that made any sense. This is the flat portion. So this is what is from that, you know, that's a quarter of the flat. That's where all that stuff meets at the top. That's where the roof is going to cascade down from. So what I need to do now is figure out where it cascades to. I'm thinking the center of this thing right here. So if I was to draw a line like this, and then hide that, that would be this point up to, what did I do? Oh, I put this in the group. Oh, come on, man. Oh yeah, it should be in the group. All right, now we're gonna hide that group. I'm in context again, everything's good. Like that. This is my theory. I don't know if this is gonna work or not. I'm just trying to figure out how this geometry all lines up. And then from there, I'm gonna come here, along the red axis to here. Get rid of that line. And then it does come down. Something goes down from there. It is hard to tell what that is, but all right, so that's my theory. So let's go ahead and click out. So that's how that component would line up. Oop, I gotta go back in context and unhide. Seems feasible.
It sure looks like everybody takes pictures of this from the bottom. Not many people getting up there to the
All right, let's
top.
let's verify this then. Looks good. I don't know. Yeah, maybe we need to, because I think we got some more gooder pictures. There's that thing. Oh, okay, that's it.
Command S.
Is this though, does that, oh yeah, that works. So this is flat in here and then that thing happens. So that's this, that geometry is this. So I'm good with it, I'm good. I say, reassuring myself more than anyone else. I'm going to explode that and go ahead and, or I should say, okay. No one is saying that that is terrible, so I'm going to go ahead and explode it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Everybody is saying that's terrible.
Ah, crap, I didn't explode fast enough. Oh, I did. All right, so intersect face with context. And then get rid of extra geometry on the inside. I'm not saying this is going to be a solid model by the time we're done, but I'm not saying it's not going to be a solid model. After the burrows got 3D printed last time, kind of excited about the possibilities. Oops, I deleted too much. Did I? Oh no, I just had that dragging down. Okay. There we go. Whoops. All right, so that feels good. I like where we're at right now. Okay, that's cleanup for another time. That's boring. Deleting's boring. That was my impersonation of a teenager. I'm gonna get a little more depth in here and make it uniform. I'll do the same thing over here. Whoops. I didn't have a flat. There's no floor inside this. I already forgot the word.
Crenellation?
Crenellation, battlement, whatever, either way. All right, cool, so that looks pretty good. Nope, still can't do that. This gray face is bothering me though. I got to do something about it. This is my SketchUp OCD. All right, that'll work. Okay, so that's looking pretty cool. I want to put some more. I'm at that point too where we got to figure out how broad the strokes of detail are at this point. How much detail do we put in versus how much of everything else do we get modeled? So with that in mind, let's take a little look right here and see what else we want to put on. I'm going to take this image and slide it back so it hits the inset face. There we go. So yeah, so now I got that. I'm going to say this, it's going to sound like I'm sarcastic, but I got Z fighting, which is what I want. And what I'm going to do is I want to go in and put these things. I know there's an architectural term for this, but for the life of me, I can't remember what they're called. Trim? Probably something like that. I want to come in and put in these rows of trim because they happen over and over again. So I have 2, 4, 6 of them right here, and then there's another one up here. So what I want to do is I'm going to do this by intersecting with a plane. So I'm going to create a plane, just a big old plane like this, just a shape, just a rectangle that cuts across the whole thing. I'm going to take that, I'm going to triple click and make it a group just so it doesn't accidentally merge with geometry. And I'm going to take it and option copy it down to the next one below. I'm going to grab both of those, option or control copy, and I should be able to say 2x, see if these are evenly spaced. Boom, look at that. All right, get rid of this. That's what I was looking for. That's so cool. This is gonna be easy because now what I can do is I'm gonna take all of these, I'm going to explode them. I'm gonna sweep across all of this. I'm gonna say right click, intersect faces with selection. I'm saying with selection because I don't remember what other geometry I might intersect with outside of here. Delete, delete, and there we go. Now I have those breaks. Now what I need to do is just have that trim, and with the trim now all I have to do is do a quick follow me and take it all the way around. I don't know exactly what the detail that trim looks like. I saved. It looks like it has like maybe one, two, two steps out there. So I'm gonna make what I think this relief looks like. I'm gonna keep it kind of simple because that's the kind of guy I am. I'm simple. Let's see. I want it to be even thirds, so I'm gonna take this, divide it into 3 pieces. Go from the middle here.
Rather than explode, you could have also done intersect with the model, right? I'm totally stealing that from Box Page. That was his suggestion.
Box is on?
On Facebook.
Box. I thought you were gonna be able to join us. I was worried you were gonna be. I mean, it is what, 3 a.m. there, something like that. Welcome. Now, here's where I'm gonna do something which might be cool. I'm going to take this and I'm gonna make it a component. Alternatively, this may fail miserably. All right, I'm gonna grab it by the middle point. I'm gonna grab it over here, drop it right here, and I'm going to stick that here. And now I'm realizing I don't really even need these intersections. I could have done this once. So I don't actually need this geometry here because what I'm going to do.
You can kind of see it on Dave's image that he sent earlier too.
That's way fancier than what I'm doing. And then it kind of goes out and then up. Okay, we do that. We can do something like that. So maybe I do something more like did Dave post something? Is that on the forum?
Yeah, that's the forum picture.
Oh, this piece.
Yeah.
But is that the same trim that's down below?
That I don't know.
That me neither. Because see, if I look here, I'm not sure if this trim, that trim looks like it's bigger, even in my blown up. If I turn this on, this piece looks like it's bigger trim than what this is.
Oh, yeah.
See that? There's more blurry gray pixels here than down here.
So just draw some blurry pixels.
There we go. All right, I'm gonna go with this for now. The point will be the same, and actually it'll be pretty easy to redo if everything fails in anyhow. All right, I'm gonna grab this and this. So that's gonna give me that whole run. I'm gonna click on follow me. Then I can't follow me because this is in a component now, but what I can do is right click on this component. I can say edit component. And then when I click on this, it follows that around. Because each of those components repeated down the building, they're all done at once. I have to do some cleanup here though. So I'm gonna come in here, grab that geometry, do a quick soften and smooth. There we go. Ooh, that's gonna work. All right, I gotta change something. I'm gonna go to my styles. I'm gonna turn my profiles off because I like that look a little better. Cool. That's gonna work for right now. All right, we're getting more images. So the piece that I threw in here can easily be redone. That was, no, that's down here. There's a line right here that is bigger. So it's like a shelf. So if I look in here, I'm looking at something here. Let's do this. Whoop. Whoop, whoop, whoop. All right, just settle down, buddy. Okay, so I know this is kind of behind my head, but we're looking at something, maybe it's right here? So something that kind of looks like, I know there's curves in here, but I'm going to stay away from curves because I'm going to try to keep my model lighter. It goes like that, maybe. Oh, something like that. So I'm going to make that a group also. And that we'll take and, hold on, let me look at my, sorry if part of that went behind my head as I was doing that. I was in the zone. That's going to go, that actually comes out all the way around. Okay, but yeah. It's really hard to tell what's going on with this gray blob right here.
A lot. There's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on. Okay, I'm gonna trace all the way around, cause I don't need a reason. All right, so I'm gonna grab this. I'm gonna cut it, come into context. I'm gonna paste it. Right here, bring it over here, flip it out the right direction. And now I need a path to follow. So I'm gonna do this. I could go do the intersect thing again, grab a plane, but I only have a couple surfaces that I have to worry about this on. And inferencing makes this easy because it's gonna actually try to snap that flat like that. All right, at that point, I gotta get rid of some more geometry back here, otherwise I'm gonna be snapping to too much. Or maybe not. All right, get rid of. You ever feel like you're swinging a wrecking ball around and
I'm just waiting for faces to disappear.
maybe you shouldn't be? All right, I'm going to just, since there are so few lines here, I'm just gonna manually grab them. And then same thing, follow me, right click, edit group, click the face, click out. All right, there we go. All right, that's looking all right. All right, so we'll do the same thing down here. We got kind of a, just real quick, I'm gonna do trim here. I am gonna take this line and extend it. And what is, oh, whoops, missed it, misclicked. Oh, actually, we got all kinds of stuff going on down here. Maybe I won't do anything right here, right now. I lied, not touching it. All right, let's get some, where are we at? Hour and 40 minutes in. Looks fairly nice. I'm gonna throw some quick windows in here, and then I'm gonna go spend some time elsewhere and come back if it's appropriate. So for my windows, I'm gonna draw them right here on the picture. Draw a line up the middle. We should probably do all these at once, actually. There's my middle line. And then I'll come in here, draw one window, and then This, like I said, I don't want to spend a huge amount of time on this, but I do want to, you know.
So I just pushed an image. It's got a great shot of all the windows up to the forum
Ooh.
post too.
Oh, you're gonna like say I need to detail things?
You know.
Oh man.
If you want to be amazing, yes.
Amazing, huh? I'm going to use as reference, I'm going to use this face right here, option copy that up to here. They're not quite the same detail, but they are the same size, it looks like-ish. So I will take that. Why am I not snapping to this line? Oh. I'm not grabbing other stuff when I do that, am I? Nope. Safe. That's straight down here. I know this is getting a little bit less than detailed, but I want to get something in here rather than nothing, and just don't feel like I have the time to do everything, all of this justice. So a little quick frame here. I'm realizing as I'm doing this, you know, sometimes you jump into something, you start doing it, and a realization happens that there's a better way. You could use a thing called components instead of just kind of clicking around everywhere. Instead, I'm drawing a bunch of raw geometry like a chump. Wow, these ones are floating off this. What's going on? It's all falling apart. All right, let's get this stuff at least on the surface.
You're doing so well.
Yeah. The other thing I'm going to have to do here is cut this window in half because I'm only drawing half the building, half the face, half of this. All right. Oh, that doesn't matter. Just get rid of it all. Okay. I'm going to take, actually I'm going to take this, bring that straight up to here. Yes, that was a question because I'm not sure what I'm doing.
Well, you're doing that really well.
Yeah. It's called winging it, and I'm kind of good at it.
Have you saved lately?
Yes. All right. We're gonna bring this up.
Vincent wants you to do the House of Parliament next week. And the St. Pancras train station. I don't know what that's all about.
It's like a hospital? St. Pancras? All right. All right, that's going to work for our purposes. But what I have to do now, let me get rid of this. see if I look straight down, see if I can grab it all. Oh, so close.
Box is advising that you scan back and look at the whole model before you start deciding your components.
What?
Whoa.
Yeah, I didn't make anything component. That's the problem. I just made all raw geometry. So I'm going to grab one of these, make this a component called a window. And I'll be honest, I panicked. I'm under the gun. I didn't do stuff good. Ugh. Grab all that. Oops. Not really oops. This happens sometimes. You guys ever see this where you break some geometry and it all disappears? You put a couple lines in and it fixes itself. All right, so I think that's going to work for what I want out of this. Come in here, and this time I'm going to do this a little better because I'm going to, oh man, the windows here are like nothing like they're on the side. Oh, it's so fancy. It's all so fancy. So what I'm going to do is head over to my components. There's my window. I'll bring this in. Throw this on here and, well,
John Driven Up Wall chimed in from the forum to say he could take pictures from his roof, but it's too dark right now.
You know, that's funny because it's one of those things where you're like, yeah, this is because for us Americans, like, I mean, have you seen this building, Jody, yourself?
I see it right here. I saw it in Spider-Man. That's about it.
That's a good movie. But I have to remind myself that, like, this, which is like a destination location for me, is, crap, I just did that, didn't I? Oh, but I did make that a component, so I'm okay. We're still okay. I have to remind myself sometimes that these places are really just where people live sometimes, which is cool. I mean, which I get that people say the same thing when they come out here, and we have, of course, our mountains and people go vacationing, and it's so cool that you have mountains right there. You go skiing all the time or whatever, and I guess I just don't really think about it because for me, it's just what's west of here. Same thing goes with this, I guess. If you're I just live near that. No big deal.
There's probably a London native that is annoyed with all the pedestrian traffic that they have to deal with every time they cross it.
Are you making a parallel of being a Coloradan and having to deal with driving in traffic every time you want to go in the mountains?
I'm making no parallels whatsoever.
All right.
These windows are not matching with what I'm finding on the internet at all.
I know. I have to admit, I already have admitted, I have an option here to detail windows or get the rest of the bridge in. And I'm totally chumping it up. I get it. But look at that. I mean, it looks presentable.
If you zoom out enough, yeah.
Look at that.
It looks just like the real thing.
Look at, watch this.
Nailed it.
Perfect. Yeah. Because I want to do some cool stuff too. I want to make some bridges on this bridge. All right, speaking of which, whoa, I did something here,
Delete that and then save.
suppose.
Wow, that's a mess.
Spring cleaning, cut some cobwebs. Command S. Okay, so let's come into here. Let's come into this guy, and I'm going to pull this back to, yeah, something like that. That looks better. Same thing over here, because I can push this back again. Because the way we set up components, I only got to do that once and twice, and half the bridge goes 3 times, and we should be good all along there. Awesome. Get rid of this extra geometry here. Okay, cool. All right, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right. Okay, all right. So right here, this actually, the roadway is, just come in here. The roadway is like this, and then pushed in slightly, we actually have some trussy stuff. So it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a technical term. Trussy stuff, if you're not familiar with it, is an engineering term. Engineers use it all the time. All right.
So Martin's Reef is 10 minutes up the road from what you're modeling here, which Vincent called the ugly cousin of the bridge.
Oh,
I think he meant that with
in a good way?
in a good way, yeah.
Like great personality, fun to hang out with.
Exactly.
2, 3, 4, 5. All right, this is not going to match, but it's going to be good. All right. So there's a couple ways to create this kind of geometry. I'm just going to use offset to get this kind of thing going on and just do this in each of them. There's actually a, is it edges to pipe or something like that? There's actually an extension that, it's actually very cool. You draw lines and then you can pick a profile to trace, and like I said, it's a really neat one. I don't have that extension, but it is a cool one. Yeah, that was not perfect.
Lines to tubes?
Lines to tubes. That's the one. That's exactly what I was thinking of.
Completely different words, but
What are you gonna do? I want to get these pieces tied in here too. Bring this over. Bring this over. Oops. Bring this over. All right. So I want to use follow me to get the big beams in here, the top and bottom round beams. One of the issues that we always run into with follow me is at the end, making sure that your end surface is going the direction that you want it to go. I'm going to say that right down here where these 2 points meet, I'm going to come draw a line on the red axes like that. And I'm going to force whatever curve I have to die into this flat line. So rather than have this, because if I did this and I used a follow me, my tube would come down that shape and then I'd have something perpendicular right here, and I'd have to go through and clean it up so it met like that. So I'm going to plan ahead and say that I'm going to redraw this curve. It'll be very close to what it is now, but I want to make sure that it starts flat here and then proceeds to, you know, curve up like that. So when I come in here, I'm going to do just that. I'm going to come in here, click here, draw my line like this, and now I'm going to grab an arc. Actually, get rid of this. Grab an arc to go from that point up to this point, and now I'll set that like that. It's a little jarring, not quite as smooth as I want, but it's still going to work. I'll do the same thing down here. I'm going to get rid of this, draw my line over like this a little bit, arc from that point to the bottom here.
Box said join the curve with magenta.
Yes, so yeah, I didn't really follow my can't talk and click. Seems like I should have developed that ability at this point in my career. The ability to talk and press my left mouse button down at the same time. I did not check for tangent or make anything like that. So this is not the most beautiful transition in the world. Break that. I'm going to grab that. I'm going to weld it. Same thing here. I'm going to triple click here. Whoop, that comes off. Go. Whoop, extension. Weld it. And I don't have a whole lot of details close up of this, but I'm going to say this is what I'm looking for. Actually, that doesn't fit, does it? Draw it again. A little bit smaller this time. And then that one will come down here. So I'm going to do, this is going to be two different ways of doing this. The first one, this one, is going to follow in the center. I'm going to say follow me. Click here. There we go. That's the first piece. This one right here is actually going to follow along the bottom. See that? So I'm going to say follow me. Same thing. Still works. That doesn't look too far off. This one did not. It did make it. Oh. And it broke. It's broken. So maybe following along the bottom wasn't. Oh, my circle's broken. Fortunately, just an undo away from fixing it. Oops, that one's on me. Mostly because I don't have anybody else here to blame.
Yay.
That's true. That one's on Jody. All right, so as I move that, what did I do? Somehow I dropped that below the surface of the street, so that's why that got bad. All right, so I'm going to grab these two lines and this line right here. I intentionally added another line tangent to the last chunk of that segment, going up farther, so this will die into the building. So when I weld that, now I have that one line that goes all the way up. And I can, once again, follow me.
Those aren't tubes.
Oh, why do I think they're tubes? What? Why do I keep going there? Okay, so that's what you do if they're round, but they're not round, of course. They're like.
They look like curvy I-beams.
Curvy I-beams. Got it. I can do that. I'm going to start with a rectangle. Oh, man. All right, so a curvy I-beam might look like, I don't know what I'm doing.
You're doing that really well, though.
All right. Well, I guess we're just going to go with an I-beam then. But what an I-beam?
Oh yeah, I mean that's the right type of I-beam. It's
right.
just that it goes a curve, follows a curve path.
Okay, cool. So I'll take that, and then we don't need this stuff now. Don't be silly. All right, and then that piece can go down here. So I can scale it up by about 50% too. All right. Save. All right, so we'll take that. We'll see what happens now. All right, and now we'll grab this. We'll watch it go. Something got weird. Oh, that's weird. Why did the two top flanges disappear? Huh. All right. But wait. Oh, wait. Oh, because of the way they. Yeah, because of this.
They intersected.
Stuff got ugly. Stuff got ugly. All right. Let's see what we can do here to save this. Huh. Yikes. This is something. Yeah, so that could have gone better. Not sure what to. Can I follow me with this? Go! Kind of. Oh my gosh. All right. I'm going to give myself exactly 2 minutes to do what I can with this.
Are you doing orient faces or reverse faces?
I'm just closing faces right now. I'm just trying to get stuff so it's not this. I don't know what's happening. Questioning so many things about what happened right now. Oh, I keep hitting my head on the tower. It's really, nothing's going my way right now. Actually, no, this reminds me, if anybody here remembers when did the Harry Potter tower, something very similar to this happened. It was not, or the Harry Potter Great Hall.
So apparently it's something English.
Yeah, that's obvious. Ooh, careful. I'm assuming what's actually going to happen here, this is probably, I'm also assuming that as I say this, I'm totally wrong, but I kind of want to have the detail. This is, so what I think I want, oh boy, wait a minute, I still got I'm still in my 2 minutes. All right, so that more or less closes up.
I think Box is about to rage quit.
I'm sorry, I'm not looking at comments at all, Box. They're not nearly as big as that. Okay. Well, I should have looked up and caught that a lot sooner, shouldn't I have? Sometimes you got to be a big enough man to hit undo 20 times and start over, which I'm going to do. Because I like this. I like my model so far, and I don't want to get ugly weirdness for no particular reason. If there's a reason for ugly weirdness, I'm all for it, but there, okay, let's...
Well, and Lucas from Facebook also said these are too big compared to the rest of the actual structure.
All right, is this better? Is this smaller better?
Maybe they won't intersect with each other as much.
Let's see what happens. We knew that. Oh, I think I might be okay here. And follow me. Something still didn't go right, but it just went not right by a little bit.
It looks slightly not as horrible.
Still too horrible for me. All right, just a teeny bit smaller.
Bob said, make the curve smooth, make the I-beam perpendicular.
Yeah, you're talking about this, right? I know. All right, fine. Oh, I lost my point though. This just dies in here somewhere.
Let me see if I can find you a good picture of what it is you're modeling, since you're just sort of making it up.
So vertex to this point is going to be like that, which is feels low. All right, let's try another one. See, that's the problem is if I go vertex to straight down there, then they end up almost parallel, but they don't. The bottom one droops lower. Oh, but I just got to go higher up here.
You would be even slightly more confused about what you're working with.
Hey, clarity is so overrated. I mean, knowing what you're doing before you do it, that's for the weak. Hey, there's a circle there. Okay, so at this point, I have fully come to terms with the fact that I'm not modeling this correctly, and odds are against that happening, but I think we can come up with something that's still looks good. So what actually happens, and John driven up the wall is probably like, yeah, it kind of all ties into like a buckle here at the middle, and this swoops down and then kind of swoops back up to where it meets. I'm not going to have that detail though.
I feel bad for all the viewers because it sort of feels like Blue's Clues. You ever watch that? Everybody's shouting for you to,
it's been a while.
Do this and to do that.
I know.
Not doing any of that.
Should I look left or right? I'm going to look up. Come on, Steve.
So the suggestion is group it before you start it. There's also join the two curves from box, or add another arc to what you had. At this point, I feel like they need to be in a certain order as they're explained to you, and I don't know what order to give them to you.
Yeah, I kind of just started drawing again anyhow. I know, guys, I know. All right, this is what it's going to be, apparently, because that's not what it is at all.
You've lost box.
I'm out.
He's going to bed.
I'm sorry, Box. Please don't. This isn't normally how it goes.
This is my fault.
This is not actually too far from how it goes usually. But I respect the fact that it's like 4 a.m., so that's cool. Thank you for coming, though, Box. I appreciate it. If everybody doesn't know who Box is, if he's still there, I'm going to embarrass him a little bit, but he is a member of our forum, and he is super speedy with replies. He gets on there and answers questions sometimes before they're asked. So you might be in the middle of typing a question into the forum and the answer might pop up. That's probably Box or Dave, but a great community member. He is in Australia though, so he does not make it to these 8. So you heard he made it all the way around?
Yeah.
Yes, go to bed.
Yeah, more importantly, he's going to bed at 8 a.m.
Oh, so something happened there. But yeah, so I appreciate that you took the time to swing by, Box. That's awesome. I very much appreciate you and always appreciate your help. So thank you for swinging by. And I'm sorry. I'm just sorry.
And Vincent is giving you an out. He said the original design was just a single arc. These dual things here are confusing to him as well.
Well, apparently, once again, we are doing Aaron's interpretation of a world-renowned landmark. So,
who did it better?
Who designed it better?
Horace Jones or Aaron Dieter?
The man who spent his career building it, or some guy with SketchUp and 2.5 hours live. All right, so that's what we're going to do for now. I'm going to take. So I know I have this weird break here, but like I said, we're kind of off the reservation at this point anyway. So I'm gonna grab these two shapes. I'm gonna copy them. I'm gonna hop in context over here and edit, paste in place. I wonder if these. Let's see if these arcs will actually work. Because oh no, but they're just slightly off of. That. Nope, it's not letting me. I'm going to take it and move that arc slightly forward like that so I have something to go horizontal on. And then let's see, if I take those two lines, I hit follow me, grab this face. So this is really all I've been looking for, is for these two faces to meet up together. That's going to be way easier to make work than, like I said, than having both of them come in at a slightly different angle, and then I'm going and drawing cutting planes and that kind of thing. I know it got a little weird right here, but I don't really have a butt there, but that's what happened.
Box is not actually gone. He's yelling at the screen right now.
Oh man, come on.
And yeah, Titus is correct. The arcs actually should be parabolas, but now we're starting to get.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to everybody. Okay, I feel like apologizing. Wow, so this is a way more complex structure than I had originally thought. I'm sorry. I don't want anybody to have to yell at their screen for this either. Yeah, I didn't make this very good. I own it. But we got this. But we got this. This is what we have right now. I'm sorry. I know it was not perfect. It was not ideal. It was this. But
Box says 2 segments and a 5-segment curve. That's what he's wanting to see.
I don't disagree with what Box is saying.
Nice thing is you can now go in and just throw a big circle up there at that joint.
There we go.
And nobody will be the wiser.
Watch this. Oh, hold my beer. And then had some details on it. Making up details on a well-known landmark again. There.
Nobody will ever know the difference.
Covered it. Is this a new piece too? Because this feels like it's a new piece. Actually, I need to scale that up just ever. Oops.
There's not a whole lot of good old imagery on this.
There we go. Take that. I like the term I used before. It's probably not right, but turnbuckle sure sounds cool. Okay. Grab both of them. Make a copy of them from this point. Option. Slide down here. Right there. Okay. So that's going to work for now. See, it's not a matter of modeling it right. It's the matter of hiding your crimes afterwards. Oh, okay.
Box said that was a perfect fix.
Thank you. All right. I'm going to grab these 2 lines, copy them, hop over here, paste them, bring it down, bring it over, push that in like that, and then, ooh, just like I'm in London. Oh, except I'm tipping up. No, can't do it.
I was hoping to hear that ka-thunk as you drove over that.
That's right. I didn't model that 2mm change in. What's going on here, by the way? It's obviously something I did. I've got shadows? I don't know. I don't have a break in geometry. Oh, something got smoothed.
Oh, yeah. This is why we work with components.
Yeah. Fix it once. Oops. Where is it? Where is it? Where's the end point? That wasn't it. Huh. Is it on this end? It is on this end. So it's definitely something. I just have something. I have a feeling something is smoothed where it shouldn't be smoothed. So, oh, there it is.
Did you show hidden?
Nope, I went inside the bridge.
You could show hidden too. So that's the thing.
That would also work. If I hide everything else there, right here. There we go. If you have something hidden where it's obviously not supposed to be hidden, sometimes it gives you weird shadow lines like that. Easy enough to fix, kind of. Okay, what time we got? 2 o'clock. All right, so.
2:20.
Thank you, Jody. So we got some details to throw on this box right here. We got a big bridge walkway. Is it a pair of walkways? It kind of looks like 2 walkways in this image.
It does.
I kind of feel like I spent a little bit of time here, but this is kind of iconic. Without the walkway between, it doesn't look like the tower bridge. It looks like something else.
It's not called the tower bridge.
Dang it. I'm going to have so much cash in so many jars. That'll be my tag and layer jar, and then my the tower bridge jar I'll be putting money in so I can buy a box and an apology brew at base camp. It is 2 walkways, for sure. All right. Definitely 2 separate pieces. All right, so I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to start with something like this, and I'm going to bring it out to, I have to turn. All right, now here's a problem. Not really a problem, but because the way we made these components, all 4 sides have a bridge sticking out of them. Obviously not going to work. So what I'm going to do is I can grab these 4 outside edges after the componentization, after the modeling is done. I can grab those 4 pieces. I can say make unique. And now I have 2 separate pieces. 4 on the inside and then 4 on the outside. So it's still a time saver to do that because I still don't have to, I can still save time by doing it once, but I don't have to keep it after that certain point. And it is 2 separate pieces, something like that. And then they have kind of a, I guess that's probably pretty high up, right? Looks like it goes almost the whole story up. Which also means that probably this is in here, but there's probably more like a door or something. All right, I'm gonna draw some placeholder geometry real quick. I have no clue what this part looks like, but it does look like there is some kind of this.
So it's a tunnel.
It actually closes on the top? Huh. All right. So here's my top. What you guys aren't catching off camera is Jody's holding his laptop above my monitor to show me reference photos. All right. And then there's a bunch of X's on either side. So what I'm thinking, here's what I'm thinking. Let's see how this works. I'm going to draw a rectangle. And I want to get some, is it X's or are they like, is it like a W?
They're
Give me that reference photo again. Okay.
You also see the floor see-through, so you can.
Oh, that is cool. Okay, so I'm gonna put a bunch of X's across here. And what I want to do, I want to make sure they're evenly spaced so it comes out to the right amount. So I'm going to grab this bottom piece right here. I'm going to say divide, and I don't know. I'm going to go this many, 9, 10. Let's go even 10. All right, and then I'm going to put one X. I'm only going to do one.
Looks like it's broken up into 4 pieces too. So you've got like a.
Okay, so a thingy every 3. All right, I'm going to do this, this, and this. I'm going to pull that out like that. And now I can take that geometry. Whoops, a little too much. I'll deselect this. And I can now deselect that. Oop, I probably have it up top too. Now I can take that, option copy it this way, 9x, and I'll ripple across like that. Whoa, hit my head on Tower Bridge. All right, so if we, all right, not too terrible. And then the other thing I'm gonna have to do right here is, this is just one-sided right now. So I'm gonna come in, add some depth to it. And then I can grab all of that. I'm going to just copy it over on the other side. Trying to think how to copy what I just did.
And you made a component.
So, yeah, no kidding. There's things that could have happened that would have made this easier. All right, so this is brute force modeling. This is when elegance the opportunity for elegance has been missed. If you really get to a point where precision selection is always an option. I could go in here and start deselecting, that sort of thing, but what I'm going to do instead is I'm just going to make a copy of this off to the side because I only want this section in the middle. So it's actually, in this specific case, going to be a little quicker for me to just grab this stuff and get rid of all the extra rather than going and doing a cleanup of that selection, of that geometry. So with that, I can go ahead and, not sure why I'm closing that up really, but I'm going to grab all of that, scale it to -1. That way, I can lap that geometry over that geometry, and there we go. All right, we have our walkways. It's definitely looking more Tower Bridgey. Know that? All right, next piece right here. Nope, this piece down here, because that's where my reference images are. We'll go in and slap this geometry on here. Okay, not too bad. This is like a miniature version of the rest. I know, I heard they're glass, but none of my other glass is see-through. Why should this one be so special? I'm going to come in here and do one more thing. Because I do go all the way through, I'm going to delete this surface on the end. Oop, hey look, I made a glass.
Hey.
That was an accident.
It's more like transparent aluminum.
Was that a Star Trek reference?
Sorry. Yes, it was.
Okay, just checking. I knew it was, I caught it as a reference.
So maybe you'll save now.
I wouldn't hold my breath. I'm going to take my eraser with Shift and just get rid of all these lines on the end. And this is probably what I would do. We'll see, maybe we'll have time. Any place that multiple components come together at the edges, what this is going to do is this will get rid of, when I come out of that component now, it looks like it's all one piece. It's the exact same geometry, it's just hidden. So even though it's separate pieces, they look like they go together just by deleting those, or not deleting, hiding those pieces where they connect.
Everybody really wants glass floors and windows.
Well, good, because I'm going to post this to 3D Warehouse, and you, yes, you, can put whatever kind of floors you want in there. Here, see, I'm going to look at it from this side. There, look. See? Glass. Oh. All right, all right, all right. I'm not saying no, I'm just not saying yes yet. Let me get my end tower in here first. All right, so I'm going to grab, same thing, grab both of these, Command X, come in context, paste in place, and we'll start by sliding this back. Huh. That's interesting. I guess the opening could be small or be bigger on this one.
What was the key you held down when you were hiding the lines?
Shift. Shift erase allows you to hide rather than erase.
Thank you.
My pleasure. All right, take that through. So I had a question. Those of you who are on the live stream, by show of hands, who is, I'm not saying, not asking if you bought your ticket, but who intends to come to base camp and hang out with us? I'm curious.
I see a thumbs up.
That came up too quick, though. That might have been the last question.
Yeah, that could have been the last question.
What was the last question? What did I say before this?
Oh, I don't know. I wasn't listening to you.
Yeah, I wasn't either. A lot of times words just start spilling. Has that ever happened to anyone else? Well, let's do one question at a time.
Yeah.
Who's
going to base camp?
Who's going to base camp? Carson's going to be there, of course. Who else we got? I know Dave's going to be here. I don't know if Dave's still on or not. Dave and I think Box are both going to be there. That'll be fun too.
Barry wants to go. Lucas wants to go. Lucas
right.
is in the Netherlands. I didn't.
You can still come.
Was from.
You can still come even in the Netherlands.
Steve Guzman is going.
Yeah, that's what he thinks.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, we'd love to have you, Steve. We're excited that you'll be there.
Lars Zimmerman will be there.
Lars, how's it going, Lars? Sorry, sometimes you guys may have been here the whole time, and I don't catch it because drawn models or whatever.
Vincent, it's going to be in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada.
And it's going to be awesome. Okay, well, here's the question. So we have a handful, enough to make this very important decision. An idea I have been playing with, just toying around really, is the idea that maybe we should do some live modeling from Basecamp. How's that strike everybody? Would you guys come to a session that was a live model?
Based on how much you've been apologizing, it seems appropriate you do one in Canada.
Trying to decide if that would be a fun thing to do.
Sounds like there is interest.
All right, that's all I can ask for.
I can't see hands, but I'm getting the general impression that they would be raised if they had hands.
I'm realizing right now that I've got some serious scale problems between these two drawings. I don't know, maybe not. If we can heckle and throw peanuts, if you bring your own peanuts, I'm okay with that. Cool. Well, maybe we'll make that happen. So I guess the next question would be.
Oh, Box is back, and he's down. Lucas thinks it'll be great.
It'll be fun to do some live input, like to
Sean would
read.
like to be able to heckle and throw peanuts. I'm on board with that.
Jody's an excellent heckler. All right, I gotta get rid of this for a second. I gotta fix some things. Cool, well maybe we'll make that happen. So question number 2, imagine if you will, you at base camp. Is this a thing that you would feel like, would this be in place of a regular session? Would this be in the evening after sessions are done? What do you guys think about that? How does that feel?
I'm going to suggest it's a bad idea to make it a regular session because then every other session happening at that time will be completely ignored.
And that's why Jody's here. I just feel so good about myself right now. You're doing it. Uh-huh. All right.
Unfortunately, the lag means I'm not quite sure when they're responding to your question.
Well, it was oh, we'll see. Now we're there. Christopher Moran commented on how you're using your brain to think. A bad thing definitely happened here. The correct solution right now would be to come in here and rescale and redraw all of this, but my two drawings are not scaled to each other. They're totally different. So a lot of stuff's not lining up the way it should. But I'm going to make something of a hybrid here to make things be better than they are. Just like I've done the other one, I'm trying to figure out where the middle of this roof piece is going to be. It's going to be about here. And then I got to figure out, I'm going to grab all this. Angles like that. This one angles like that. Just using inferencing to copy the angles of these things, and then I'm running them long. That's not, okay. Okay, so that's how that'll look. Something like that. This one over here, meanwhile, will run, come on, give me parallel. There we go. Run that long. All right, I gotta hide this temporarily, of course. Well, that'll be fun because I've been trying to figure out what to do, because no matter what we do, we're going to have a problem with doing all of the, we'll miss a session one way or another because we'll be setting up on Friday, so that's not going to happen. Anybody who's coming to base camp's probably going to be traveling if they're coming to boot camp. So all right, there we go. So we'll have to figure out exactly, that didn't quite make it over, did it? Man, you'd think I was doing math with how hard I'm concentrating right now. So like I said, because this is a, Friday is when we'll actually be setting up for boot camp, which starts on Saturday. So we won't, that week, we won't have a live stream on Friday no matter what. I could make a case for maybe bringing all the gear with and, you know, saying, oh, sorry guys, I can't set up. I got to go do a live stream. But I think that probably wouldn't go over real well with the rest of the team.
Oh, you don't think that a base camp would be a live stream then? If we did it during the show?
Oh, no, I think we would. I think we would do something during the show.
Oh.
I'm saying I don't think that Friday.
Okay.
Then the actual live stream then would probably be on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, maybe evening. I don't know. But that's the part we'll have to figure out is when we do it. Maybe it's a lunchtime thing. You go grab your food. No, that's probably against the rules in the convention center. Okay. Well, the good part is that it's good to hear there's interest. Like, it's not stupid idea. The stupid will happen later. All right. I'm doing the exact same thing I did on the other side, getting my tall roof there, my tower up there, intersecting it with the lower roof, and then doing a little bit of cleanup. Let's click out. That's looking, whoa. I don't know, have you guys, so I know there's a couple other 3D Mouse users out there. I don't know if you went through the process that I did where I just took my 2019 extension and copied over 2020, which I know you're not supposed to do, but there's not a 2020 installer from 3D Connection yet. So I did that to get it up and running, and for the most part, it's working pretty good, but there's definitely some times where my zooming seems to be a little bit off. I don't know if anybody else is hitting that. All right, let's turn that on. So I just had to throw that out there because I'm definitely finding issues with it. Hey, cool part is I don't see a whole lot of windows on here, so that's a plus.
But you've got it perfected.
That's right. So I have trim at that height, and it looks like that height.
So there's a couple of votes for you to model. So there was a mistakenly autocorrect changed base camp to space camp.
I want to go.
And so then it was suggested that maybe that's what you're modeling is the ISS.
Ooh. Okay. I'm not opposed to that idea. That could be kind of fun.
Or you could model it next week.
I think I have plans next week. just so you guys know, we do listen to your ideas, and as you come up with them, we generally write them down and keep track. Keep track of the things you guys come up with you think would be cool ideas to model, and then I guess I don't really need to intersect. This is insanely simple. I could just draw 2 lines. That's better. We have for quite a while now gotten our ideas for live models from your guys' comments. So we keep a running list of the ideas that you guys have, and then we come in here and there we go.
So I had pointed him to, there's an existing thread of what do you want to model next,
That's awesome.
which hasn't been edited in 20 days, so I'm guessing you don't use it regularly. But
No, because a lot of times what we end up doing is we actually ask people at the end of this stream, hey, what should we model next? And we get a lot of great ideas. I was saying all that to say we are actually a couple weeks ahead now. You guys came up with some awesome ideas the last few times we came together, and we have some good models ahead of us. So I was kind of explaining why I sarcastically said I had plans already for that last idea you had to model. But yeah, it's awesome. We love hearing the ideas you guys have, and we really do end up using them for what we model. Sometimes we have our own stuff that we think would be fun to do, or there's a reason we come up with something, but for the most part, it's your ideas.
I see that Box actually went over to the forum and posted a GIF of what he was trying to explain with curves earlier.
Oh, thank you. Wait, that one didn't go right, did it? I did a little offset here just to put a little, little spice on the arch here. Oops. But the offset didn't quite reach the outside edge, so gotta do a little cleanup there. Take these 2 in, and then we'll pull this one out. I can't remember what we have on the docket for next week, though. I have to check in and look into that.
I don't know where I would find that.
I don't either. We have a meeting every Monday where we talk about content, and that's usually when I find out what I'm doing related to that. Maybe a vehicle of some sort? I don't know. It's going to be awesome though, man.
Is the space station a vehicle?
Yeah.
Or is it a house? It's the original van.
It's like I would say it's like a motorhome basically.
Yeah.
Or a caravan. That's what I've heard it called.
Way to go international there.
That's right. I only know that because I watched the movie Snatch with Brad Pitt. All right, so throwing a little detail in here still. Import a tree. Huh. That sounds a little wacky, Maricone.
So I think he's answering a question someone else asked above.
Okay, oh, that was a request.
Now someone was asking about bringing trees into their outside models.
Then I accept that. Okay.
Christopher said the ISS is a vehicle and it's currently going 17,000 miles per hour. So you'd have to put motion blurs on it for sure.
Well, how's it gonna hold still long enough to use it as a reference model?
Yeah. Slow down.
There's your problem. All right. All right. Now I'm throwing on the superfluous details. Oh, crap. Remember what we did here? I mean, oh yeah.
Shucks.
Golly. We made two separate halves. None of this is bad. Nothing is wrong. But I'm going to grab all of this and Control C it. Actually, I'm going to grab this too. Copy that. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to get rid of this. Paste this in. Like that. So yes, components are awesome, but sometimes you gotta copy geometry. Not a big deal. All right, so this is looking pretty Tower Bridge-y right now. What are we missing? What's not here? This is killing me. I gotta fix this because this is like painfully obviously not right.
Well, there's rails on the sides of the road.
Probably true. It's probably true.
I've seen pictures. They're on the internet.
And you think that just because it's on the internet, it's true, do you?
Yes, obviously. Let's see.
Okay. I believe this. I believe this is probably true. There's also, I'm going to do this because these are, and this is probably not perfect, but these are rounded. They're not rectangles. There's a lot more detail to them, but this is at least a step in the right direction. We can do that. All right, so we will go through here, just soften the whole thing.
Have you saved lately?
I haven't, it's been a while.
Might be time.
That's an excellent plan. All right, so let's get some handrails on here, or some guard rails. Hopefully not handrails, because there shouldn't be too many hands this close to a road.
Titus did say to not forget the crosses, which are at the top of every single pointy thing on here.
I did notice that that was a thing that happened in abundance.
I think that they just got a really good deal on crosses when they were building this.
Hey, that's good. I mean, if your government can be thrifty like that, then you should be proud of it. All right, I'm thinking of how to do this because what it looks like is there's actually panels kind of like this that just repeat on down. Let's see what happens if I just arbitrarily draw a shape and then hit times 100.
Pretty good.
Times 150.
That's too many.
Oh. Whoa! All right. 175.
Oh, that's too many.
Oh, that's way too many. That was ridiculous. Why would I even type that? 165? Perfect. All right. Yeah, so just experiencing some of that weirdness, that 3D mouse weirdness that I was talking about. Now it's fine again. I don't know. I'm not sure what's going on there. All right, so what I'm going to do to get this onto the other side, I'm going to select one of those components. 166 in the entire model. Good to know. I'm going to go to Selection Toys and say select all instances, which will give me all of those. I'm going to turn on my hidden geometry so I can get the center of my bridge point, and I'll use rotate to copy that entire array to the other side. Bet you thought handrails were going to take longer than that, huh? That looks good. All right. The thing that's bugging me right now is this big old line right up the middle. So I'm going to go select this. I'm going to hide everything except for this one component. All right, and I'm going to align my view directly to the front. I'm going to set my camera to parallel perspective, and I'm going to do a selection that should just grab the edges. I grabbed this garbage on the inside. I don't actually need any of this, so this could actually be deleted. All right, let's try it again. Align view. I'll zoom out, and then just like I said, just like that, grab that. That gives me all the lines that make up that edge, and now I can go over here to entities and just turn visibility off, so it disappears. So before I was using the modifier key, which, I mean, works as well, but this is the modifier key with erase. This is going to give me the same result because I can just select it, hide it, and then when I come out, it's all hidden here. It's not hidden here because remember, these are separate pieces than, because we had to do front and back of the tower. But I can do the same thing. Let me get rid of this real quick. Not because I have to, just because it bugs me. All right, and then again, align view. Just select that slice, hide. Uh-oh, clipping. I'm gonna hop back into perspective. Then go back to parallel again. Align view. Here we go. Now if I click out, there we go, got rid of it. I just have to do it once on this one because I didn't do a front and back, or I didn't do two separate ones for this piece. The other thing I didn't do, check this out, this right here. The nice thing about this one, this would be easy to clean up because it's a component. Remember I said this is a component before I did this? So I'll be able to come in here, erase that, erase that, erase that, get rid of those interior faces, we don't need them. And then I can just grab these end lines, visible, toggle visible, and then when I click out, all of it got cleaned up. This one up here, of course, is a different one, so I got to do this one separately, but same thing. Get rid of this extra geometry I don't need. And, oops,
Yeah.
too much, too much. All right, and then I can just grab these end pieces again, toggle visible, click out, click out. So there's still cleanup to be done, but I don't know, for 3 hours I feel pretty okay about how that turned out. I didn't put the fanciness on.
Yep.
I did not have my fancier nader.
Your droopy truss thing should be bright blue. Your roof should be.
Yeah, I also didn't put in there.
Oh, yep. And also there's an interior sort of fence next to the road so that people don't walk into traffic.
Yeah, that makes sense, like right here.
Yep. But that's the nice thing about putting it on the warehouse is everyone can continue to expand.
That's right. But, you know, this wouldn't be too hard, actually, now that I think about this. Just saying. It could be fairly easy to grab that. Oh, turnbuckle. There's all of my fence pieces. So what I could do, oops, is I could come right here, say. This is the center of the bridge. I come right here like this and go copy that like that. And then from that one, I could take that set right there and rotate that. Oh, it's starting to lag a little bit with all my hidden lines turned on. I could take that off of this one, option copy that over, and now we have a walkway. Granted, that walkway goes into the side of the building, but you know what? That's okay, because like our walkway's up here going to the side of the building too. So at least I'm consistent.
Well, again, Harry Potter, also a British structure. There's walkways that walk right into walls there too, right? That's how you get on the train.
Yeah, I'm not sure that they use Harry Potter as the standard for how they design real buildings, but maybe. I don't know.
You're not English.
That's true. And we've degraded back to that. Cool. So, yeah. What do you guys think? How's that looking? How's that looking?
Sebastian really wants crosses on there.
People really want crosses. Okay. We can put crosses on. I'm okay with that. Again, it's not too painful because of our components. Oh, you know what else happened? This. Because I deleted all lines at the middle where they intersected means I lost all my ridge lines.
Oops.
It's okay. All right. Which way? So it looks like they go this way. So I'm going to grab a rectangle, come to the middle, draw it from the center. I'm going to go up like this. Grab all of that. Option copy. 3x. I'm going to turn on my, well, that's obviously not going to work. So I'm going to come in here, push pull this in to there, and then just do the same on all three sides. And if I like, I can come in here. That's going to cause an issue because it's not intersected. So, and now we could delete these extra lines. Whoa. Whoa, whoa, easy. That's the jumpiness I was talking about.
It was exciting.
Well, good. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm going to grab that and this piece. Actually, I'm going to grab all of it and that piece. Copy that. Copy that. When I exit out, that goes there. But if I come into this one, I can hit paste, and then I can use that octagon I copied to make that easy to place. All right. So there's 8 crosses. We're starting. That's where we're beginning. And then this big tower, let me see. It looks like they have so many crosses.
Many crosses.
Okay.
Well, then you got that big fancy thing on the top of the tallest roof there.
Yeah, and it also looks like I kind of got...
I want those
here.
to be face me components. It feels like they're following me everywhere I go.
Well, I think that's, as I'm looking at it, like these ones up here are multi-layered where it looks like they do kind of do something like that. So I'm going to copy this over here real quick. I'm going to put a line up the middle, push pull this back because there's a cross right in the middle of that above the window as well. Do the same thing. I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to take this right here, slide it back just to, oops, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to place it, not slide it back because it's merging with geometry. Whoa, ooh, good thing we're towards the end. Rookie mistake, rookie mistake. just this line. There we go. I'm going to grab all of that. All, not some. All of that. There we go. Copy that. And bring that over here. There we go. Put that then right here. Missed. Oh, because I don't have, got to turn my hidden line so I have something to snap to. There we go. And then I got to take that one, copy it again, come over here, paste that. All right, so now we have our half crosses. Oops. Put the other half over here. I guess I didn't have to put a half. I could have put a full one on one side and that would have worked just as well. But that's still, oh. That still went well. Oh, sometimes. All right, there we go. All right, getting there. So now click out. Got a lot of crosses. Got some crosses up here. We got a big, like, super cross with some smaller crosses below. I'm gonna go grab this guy again.
I'm going to say that searching for Tower Bridge Cross, all I'm really finding out is the river that it happens to be sitting on.
Which is, do you remember?
I believe it was pronounced Thames.
Oh, we tried, guys. We worked for like half an hour on that one. All right, so I'm going to grab, oh, I didn't get it all again. Let's stick this right here. And then, let's see. Let's just grab all of this. This is going to be the, whoa, what did I just do? There we go. So this is going to be big. I'm going to scale this up. And also make it taller. And then I'm going to make it half as wide as it is. I'm going to hide all the lines on this side. No, I'm not going to do that because I'm actually just gonna cut it in half like I did the other ones because I'm not going to bother because the front and the back half again. I'm not going to mess with that. I'll just put half of it up here. Grab all those. Whoop. All right, and I can throw that. I'm gonna grab by the middle point. Put that right here. Oh, so that's a lot of crosses. I don't know if that's the right amount of crosses, but it's a lot. Oh, didn't quite make it. All right, there we go. And there are some crosses over here too. So let's see, I'll grab all this. Nope, not quite that much. Copy that, pop in here. I have to do a little cleanup once I get this in here, but all right, that's a lot of crosses. I've never drawn crosses for 10 minutes before. That's first.
You did. That was probably the best you've ever done it.
Safe to say.
Christopher said that added a lot to the bridge.
Oh, good. I have to think, I've seen, I think when I went to London, we went to, anybody who's still on in the UK, if you go to the London Bridge, you can see the Tower Bridge from there. Is that right? Isn't that just like the next bridge or two up the Thames? Because I remember I saw this. I didn't actually go on it, but I saw it like, it looked like this from where I was. Maybe like that. So it's a cool looking bridge for sure, but I didn't get to go stand on it. We made Great and Britain great. All right. So, you know, sometimes as you proceed through your week, you start and everything's just, you're nailing it Monday morning. And then you get to like Thursday, and all of a sudden, something you've been doing your entire life, like speaking in your native language, starts to become difficult. That's my week this week. I don't know what it was, but I don't know if I used it up. Did I speak more than normal, Jody? Jody has.
You were talking a lot.
Jody has it's actually funny. If I turn this way, this is how Jody and I actually sit in our cubicles. He's right there. So, lucky guy gets to listen to me. And he signed up for more. He's in here now. I don't know.
Well, what's weird is how much you just talk while you're modeling, even when nobody's watching.
I gotta stay up. I gotta stay practiced. Yeah, that's probably true. Just sitting at my desk, talking and modeling. Vincent O'Regan saying he thinks that those crosses are Gothic finals. I think that's how you say.
Finial?
Finials, and not so much cross-looking. It's possible. Anything is possible. I don't know. I was modeling off of some less than perfect. Oh, look at that! Wow, I really should have put that kind of detail in there.
Man, wait, rewind.
Yeah, this is what Box was saying about getting a nice. So, yes, absolutely. Now that I don't know if Box is still on or not. He's saying, so I have the two pieces coming in and then put a 5-arc segment between the two. What the 5-arc segment assures is if you're coming in from both sides, that the middle segment of the arc will be perpendicular to the ground. So you'll still have the two pieces come together like that. So this was a great idea. This is what he should have, what I should have done. So, yeah, that would have been great because that would have got me a much smoother solution. But I just covered mine up, so I still feel pretty good about that.
That's what a true architect would do, or
That's
builder.
right. Okay. Well, I kind of feel like we're there. Like nothing's moving forward at this point. It's all just spinning silently. So this right here, folks, is what we got for Tower Bridge. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that, and I'm really hoping everybody learned something.
Boy, I did.
Well, hey. And Jody's hates learning, so if we snuck something in there, big win. The rivers in the UK, Titus, the Thames, as they call it. Yeah, so there we go. That was pretty cool. I like, it's fun to model this kind of stuff, but every time we get into something that has this level of detail, I called this out before, I just want to get in and like, yeah, just do a close-up of just this and model that. So one of the things that's actually on our list is modeling a Gothic column with all the details and all the cool stuff, all the filigree or whatever they got up there. Still not an architect, still don't know the right words. But you know, all those little pieces and actually going to town on just like a single column and getting a ton of detail in it. So that's actually on the list. That'll happen at some point in the future. But I feel pretty good when we go in to do something like this, that getting a fair representation of that model in just a couple hours. I feel like that turned out pretty cool. I like what we came up with by the end. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that as well. And like I said, learned a little something somewhere. Maybe there's a save you a mouse click or something like that with something we did. But most of all, just thank you for coming by, and I appreciate you guys spending Friday with us. If you do have more ideas for models, like I said, we love getting those. We're trying to do, as long as we keep getting ideas from you guys, we'll just keep making them. You know, we only have to fill in the gaps if we don't have enough ideas for content. So if you guys do have an idea, go ahead, leave it in the chat right now. We're gonna wrap up. We'll stop streaming at this point, but I will leave the chat running for about 5 or 10 minutes so you guys can type in ideas as they come to you the next few minutes. Otherwise, if that's it, then I want to say thank you very much, Jody.
Hey, it was great to be here.
It was a lot of fun. And thank you guys for hanging out. Thank you for doing this. This was a blast. And we will see you next week when we model something. I'm going to try to get better at knowing what happens next week this week, because then I can tell you guys and you can decide how excited you are to come back regardless of what it is. That's my plan. So thank you very much. We will see you guys next time.
Bye, everybody.